Oh, what an adventure. Get lost with Google Maps. Good morning, everybody. There's Budget sitting up there. Hey, Budget. Hello. Can you see him up there on the gutter hopping along? He's fully growed now. Isn't he beautiful? He comes back and talks to us. There he is over there. Hey, Budget. He's proper wild now, but he remembers where his house is. Look at him. Isn't he gorgeous? He's just getting flowers. He's in that bush. We don't feed him. Anyway, he's back. Budget's back. He comes in and says hello and then flies away again. He's a proper bird now. Alright, I've been working on the camper trailer. You're not going to recognise inside of it. I'll just give you a quick look. I'm not anywhere near finished pulling it apart yet. You can see that fuse block down there and some Anderson plugs. Those ones are going to plug directly into the battery. Okay. And those fuses there control the light and the lighter plug out the back that we use to plug the kitchen lights into. Alright, the MPP charge controller's got to move yet, and there's a Lynx power distributor going in there. Now we're using that instead of a power in because it's got fuses and all the lights work. And the whole idea of this build is everything that's fused has got a light. So if anything blows, we'll be able to see on which side of the trailer it is and on which circuit it is, simply because everything's going to have a little light on it. And also we got to wire the winch outlets in. That's those two big ones right over in that corner. We'll walk around a minute and have a look at those. We've took the door off and put that down there because it's easier for me to access. Now, in the kitchen, now this thing here used to be, let me move this switch, used to be the part we had, and it was a lot lower. It sat down a lot more. It sat right down at this level. So there you go. It was a lot lower. So I made a new one, and when I get the battery remote for the battery remote's going here. I'll just put this back over here because that was me pattern. And this is in really solid. Okay. My battery remote's going here, and also this switch that I wired for you the other day. Okay, now you can see the ratings on these, like this is the water pump. Okay, that's 8 amps, alright. It's got a 215 amp and a 20 amp outlet. And on the back there you can see it's got some, it's all done in 2mm, and then it's the 20 amp is done in 4mm, because I want that to be continuous. And that's going sort of down there like that somehow, or maybe across there like that. I haven't made up my mind yet. Okay, now under the kitchen in this side there's going to be this fuse block. So all the wiring on this side is going to this fuse block. Then the main wires that come across are going to this fuse block, and that's going to be mounted over there on that aluminium. Okay, and that's going to have the water pump on it for the left hand side of the trailer, which is the hot water pump. Well, that's yeah, it's a hot water pump and if we don't heat it's a second cold water pump if the hot water system's off, in case this other water pump under here stops. And then so there's a links distribution over there, and then that goes to this smaller distribution which is all fused, and all the other wires are coming off here. The wires going to this fuse box, everything at the wires coming to this fuse box, and the wires going to the inverter are all going to come off here. I think I might put the inverter on the big links distribution. Okay, alright, now putting this up here, we'll just walk around so you'll actually see where I move that when it's done. I can't explain it to you because you won't understand it. Let's move around this side. Okay, that's my winch outlet right there. Okay, and there's that little 12 volt socket I was talking about, and the light there. But you can see how much room we've got under there now. Oodles of room. And because I moved all this forward, I've used a bigger piece of wood and moved all this forward. It's a lot easier because Ziggy really had to reach to turn these on and off, and now they're really, really easy for her to turn on and off. And then you can see under there's plenty of room for fuses and fuse blocks and stuff like that. And all this is getting painted blue, I think. Siggy's going to paint it. I'm not sure. She bought some paint and it looks, I think it's a bluey colour. Says so on the label, but anyway, that's her kitchen, that's her job. My job is just all the electrical wiring. So that's the cold water pump there, and of course in this box here, up at this end, we've got a 12 volt pump here and a big 10 litre hot water service under there. Now if you look down my videos to the Duetto Mark II hot water system videos, I've got a full series just on building and installing this with a Duetto Mark II hot water system. So the battery's got 250 amp inlets, 2 Anderson plug inlets down the bottom of it. I'm going to plug the solar and the hot water system in on one. And if the hot water system, because the hot water system's wired up there to the battery circuit breaker, yeah, at the top, so it can still act as a circuit breaker for the hot water system. But during the sun, when the sun's out during the day, it uses 27 amps. The solar panel puts out 30 amps. So there's not going to be much load on that. The most load that's ever going to be on that 50 amp Anderson plug is 30 amps. Alright, and then all the wiring going down to the back is on the other one, just because it's easy to do there, and I've already fused it all a long time ago. And this one here, the wire on just there where you can see the red and the black wire, okay, they're actually the water pump wires, and you can see it's fairly heavy wire. I think that's 10 millimeter squared. It doesn't need to be that big, but that's going to go up into this fuse. Now these fuse blocks I'm using have all got little lights, and if there's a blown fuse, a light comes on. Absolutely awesome. And that's why I'm spending a bit more and buying the Lynx power distribution block. That's the same as the Lynx power in, except it's got a little circuit board and it's got all little LED lights. So whichever fuse is blown, an LED light comes on. And this is because that spot back there is hard to get into. You've got to climb on top of the fridge and freezer. So if I have light indicators instead of pulling things apart to check fuses. If I've got light indicators, then I know straight away. Okay, and that's about it, peoples.